We will focus our discussion around the tank's job when it comes to instilling map control for their team. There are three pillars to tanking in 6v6. 1. Escort the core of the team. 2. Finding advantageous positions to create some map control. 3. Using those angles to create advantageous scenarios. And because I am the fastest tank on my team, I get there first and have to contest this Doomfist to give my team the more comfortable map corners. Now, while my other tank controls main, it is one of my jobs to protect the space we have created and use my boosters to punish this venture. I have to turn back instantly cause in the meantime, the rest of the team got overwhelmed in main. Seeing how low HP my Reinhardt is because he did not have his Ana healing him, I must manage his remaining HP. I matrix the follow-up damage to the punch and hold my ground while showing aggression. You must get through this diva to kill my Rein. The four of us do well to use the map to contain the remaining 5 enemies, with my Genji killing both supports due to a lack of enemy peel. And now we can push our healing advantage to finish the most important fight in Overwatch, as winning the first fight sets you up for the rest of the game. We have successfully absorbed the enemy aggro during their advantage before pushing using our own advantage. The members of my team that have survived this first fight go into the next fights with an alt charge advantage. While the enemy team is still regrouping, both our tanks look to control the next important corner of the map. As you can see, I am always trying to manage my fellow tank's HP bar, wanting him to be an oppressive figure for the enemy to handle. Once again, I leave my Reinhardt to control main only after the enemy tanks have used their big cooldowns, and I turn back to peel my low HP backline. Unfortunately, I was too late to realize how badly they got poked, and this fight has turned sour for us very quickly. So we use our map control to help those that can fall back, to then prepare for and take the next fight earlier. It is imperative not to stagger anymore, so I exit as soon as I lose my armor or feel that I am disadvantaged. I stayed alive, so I can choose which part of the map we will contest. I get rid of the Sigma to allow my backline to set up safely indoors. Then both our tanks start to test the enemy map control. I do not want to give the Widow this key corner, and this very aggro move is a bit less risky due to me having my bomb, aka a second life. I use the map corners to break line of sight after forcing key cooldowns and get out luckily without needing my bomb, and then look to understand my teammates' situations. We trade our Reinhardt for their Doomfist. My team is able to avoid this surprisingly early Sigma ult due to the indoors, and I use my bomb to keep this corner contested. Now that I am the last tank alive this fight, I open up angles for my team while controlling the enemy's biggest remaining threats. Once again, we are the first to contest the next important corner of the map. And this mad lad goes on a flank charge, surprising everybody and giving us a tank advantage for the upcoming fight. The Sigma knows this and dares not to contest our ult charge Rein until his team is not staggered anymore. So I push our advantage further, trying to take more map control and stagger the enemy further. Our Genji gets a bit bloodthirsty, perhaps trying to force our advantage into an expensive ult exchange for the enemy. My Reinhardt enjoyed our Genji showing off his big cojones and decides to push further away from our supports into enemy territory. Now this fight has evolved from staggering enemies into a full-fledged ult exchange fight versus an enemy spawn advantage. I am only looking to understand how much space I can control, while my Mercy realizes she cannot afford to res. Despite being one tank down, we use the map corners and line of sight to keep a numerical advantage. We successfully peeled to absorb this aggro, but I am still heavily under pressure due to the enemy Sombra swap. So I use rockets and this corner to avoid getting hacked or melted. During my retreat, I realized that the Reinhardt was back from spawn and do well to help follow up on the shatter. As the last remaining tank on my team, I did well to use our map control over those three corners to absorb the enemy's advantage until the reinforcements arrive. I protect my teammates that get Sigma fluxed and turn to help my Reinhardt fight for this next map corner. This bomb temporarily takes control of that corner, forcing the enemy into splitting up. Some must push in, others must retreat. We fully take advantage of this and finish off the split up enemy team. The enemy's spawn advantage elongates this fight despite us having control of this corner. Unfortunately, I do not notice my Reinhardt's low HP. Our res gets boop cancelled. Our Ana fails the nanoblade, and I mistakenly push with the DPS ults instead of peeling. So we lose this fight because the trades are favorable for the enemy spawn advantage. We decide to contest this corner to keep our advanced spawn. This early contest keeps our map control, giving me the space to push or peel when necessary. My Reinhardt does well to control the robot while I was away. Here I realized that the Zarya just came back from spawn and has no charge, so I use my armor to bait her self bubble but instantly retreat once I notice I lose my advantage. Their Lucio does very well to keep his Zarya alive, so we must accept this enemy tempo switch and use our map control to absorb their push until we can counter tempo using our own ults. I use my bomb to take away the enemy's map control corner again. Then peel the remaining enemy forces. I call for a fallback to let the others know that I am only here to keep the enemy pinned down a tiny bit longer before regrouping as a full team. My Reinhardt realizes too late why I decided to play it safe and dies, but thankfully we can successfully peel the monkey's dive on my low HP Ana without her dying. But unfortunately, this good work is undone by me tunnel visioning on this Sojourn instead of hearing and reacting to the Venture ult. I enter the next fight with absolutely no clue of who has tempo advantage or what cooldowns were used. The only thing I can instantly recognize is that the enemy team has map control. This is why I look to peel the Doomfist ult before anything else. I blindly follow up my Reinhardt chatter because he was in the fight from the very start. And this trust is repaid with a victory.
Aw, thanks. I can dig that. I can dig that. I can dig that.
Let me know if you guys have been enjoying the 6v6 test, because I am working on a review of this test, so that video might be next.
A few moments later.
I can dig that. I can dig that.
Thank you for watching. This was Fape
Ooh, sorry.
for the Fapelele gaming channel.
I can dig that. Thank you. You're the best. I can dig that. I can dig that. I can dig that. I can dig that.